Hello, everybody. We're continuing our 2025 Montgomery County Football Media Day. We just wrapped up with head coach Chad Watson and the Kirkwood Cobras. Now we're joined by West Creek head coach Michael Booker and senior linebacker Jay Jackson. Guys, first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for doing this. We're just kind of bring attention to football in the county, just kind of promote you guys. But Coach, I just want to get right into it. You guys finished 4-6 last season in your first year as a head coach. Just kind of overall, what were your thoughts on your first year as a head coach last year?
I thought I did well under the conditions, coming in from another state, getting introduced to the community. I thought I did real well getting introduced to the guys. I think the coaching staff that was there before me, they love that coaching staff, and they did a great job with the guys there. So my biggest thing my first year was just to, get acclimated to the kids and the environments and the setup. So as far as wins and losses, I think our kids played hard last year. I think I thought we should have won 2 more, but I think I was happy with the success that we had. But it catapulted us to this year. So
coming off last year, were there things that you learned or that might have happened last year that kind of shaped how you prepared for this year? Oh,
yes, definitely. I think the intensity of our practices, I think how we treat one another. I think we're lifting West Creek football on a pedestal. Before, I think it was in a lot of the kids' minds that, we were just average football players. No, West Creek's not average football players. We got some good football players over there, and it's up to me and the coaching staff to instill that into them athletes.
You've only got one starter coming back on either side of the ball, and it's Jay over there. Especially coming from where you came from, playing defense at places like Nebraska, played in the NFL. Just not only defense, but you've got to do it for both sides now. Just how do you go about basically rebuilding an entire football team? Yeah,
and that's a good question. Jay Jackson, you say just one player. The guy's a beast on the field. I mean, he's a guy that's a leader on and off the field. He plays like 3 roles on our team, whether it's a leader on the field. His grades are good. He's keeping the community of the locker room good. And then, if I was going to brag on him, it would be football field second, right? So he's playing 3 guys out there. He's playing leader. He's playing linebacker. He's playing a lot. So him coming back means a lot to the team. And they're following everything he does. You know what I mean? And last year, I thought we had a lot of good athletes last year that we couldn't just put in the right places. But this year, we got good athletes, too, that we're going to try to put in the right place, led by Jalen Jackson.
Jalen, as kind of that only returning starter on that defense from last year, just kind of how have you adopted that role of kind of being that leader on that defense out there?
Just me coming back and everybody just, looking up at me as a person that plays defense all year, just showing the knowledge that I can and trusting the coaches and being the best team leader I can possibly be.
You got to play alongside Kingston Leon last year, who was one of the top 3-5 tacklers in Class 6A last year. Just playing alongside that guy, were there any things that you kind of learned that you could take into this year from him?
Yeah, being more aggressive, because Kingston, his side, but he has a dog mentality. You can be 6'6", he'll run through your face. Just that dog mentality every step of the way, no matter what's going on. And in that leader role, he led the defense as a linebacker should. So I'm taking that from him as well.
You said you got about 15, 20 seniors on this year's team. Yeah. Does that, when you've got to basically rebuild both sides of the football, when you have that many guys that have been in the system for multiple years, does that kind of help speed up the process for you? Yeah,
it helps speed up the process, but having that many seniors coming in, bringing a new culture there's a lot of fight and resistance back on certain things. But I think the juniors last year really gravitated to what we were trying to do. So the seniors now, they're pretty much bought in, right? They're bought in. We sit down and then one thing we did this year that we haven't done in previous years is that we let the team pick the captains, right? The guys, we set the tone, we set the culture, and then the team picks. So it's easier for our captains to hold our players accountable.
When you have, that type of structure where you give the players kind of the freedom to hold each other accountable. Do you think that kind of, brings them closer as a team, kind of makes them a more tight-knit unit?
Yeah, I always give them. I always let the team captains, which we have 4 of them, 5 of them. How many we have? 5. 5. We have 5 of them, and we let them serve as one coach, right? But all their decisions will be finalized by Coach Michael Booker. So they're not going to go in there and just say we're going to wear orange tomorrow and then do that. But what it does is it helps us with our culture building discipline process. It's going to help us with our grades. It's going to help us with our approach on the field. It's going to because we're not on the field, we can't hear. The last thing I want to do is the ref to tell me. I want one of our captains to tell me what's going on there. I want to give them the autonomy to get out there and say, Coach, it would be good for us to run this play opposed to this play. So give them an input. Give them ownership of actually winning the football game. And I think that's going to let them play better, and it's going to let the people around them play better.
Jalen, when you guys have that kind of freedom, like Coach said, to, have input, put in some suggestions and recommend things, does that kind of help you guys, not only build your relationship with Coach, but kind of help you play more loose, play more free out there on the field?
Yes, because it, like you said, it helps us be more loose, and then it helps us be the team led that coaches want. So when he picks us, it's from him that that can lead us to playoffs and stuff.
You had 2 assistants leaving the offseason, Brian Jalamo, your defensive coordinator, then Markel Dobbs, one of your offensive assistants. Just how have you gone about replacing those guys?
Well, it's kind of hard to replace them guys. We did the best we can. There were 2 tremendous coaches. Especially when I got here, they welcomed me in, and it's hard to replace them coaches. We did bring in another defensive coordinator, Coach Flores, who's doing a good job. Well, Marion Booker is our defensive coordinator now, which is doing a great job. We brought in another receivers coach who's doing a great job right now. We're not trying to replace them. They're good coaches. What we're going to do is just whatever we get, we're going to make them the best coaches as possible. But it's a devastating loss.
West Creek, the school opened, I think, about 2001. The program's never had a winning football season. When you come in, like I said earlier, from places that you came from that were extremely built on culture, Nebraska football in the 90s, played with the Falcons, the Titans, places like that. How did you kind of go about starting to try to change the culture at West Creek when you got there?
Well, one thing I always, about myself specifically, I was always a good team player, right? We had great captains on our team. So when I got in, I just fit into my role. What we're here is, what I'm doing here, what I'm trying to do is build the captain environment, build the team environment that looks like winning. First thing I try to tell our kids and our coaches, it must look like winning first. If it doesn't look like winning, you're not going to go out there on Friday night and fool everybody in the stand. So, respectable, treat the kids with respect, respect. You give respect, coach them hard. Coach them hard, but be respectable. Be respectable. Don't be scared to, sit them down, have a talk with them, and figure out how they feel. And again, because the coaches aren't going to play one snap. We're not going to play one snap. So we got to do the best we can to get at it, our athletes. We got to do the best we can to get the best out of our athletes. And I think when they understand that we care about them, not just for football, past football, we have some kind of relationship with them, personal relationship with them. I think that'll gravitate to winning. They got to want to win for us, right? And they got to want to win for themselves. They don't want, and that's the one thing about the program, like you said, they've never had a winning season. And then that effect, we win every day. We're going to try to find a way to win every day. We're going to win at practice. We're going to win in the locker rooms. We're going to win on campus. We're going to do a lot of winning at West Creek. We're not going to determine our West Creek football team just on the wins and losses on Friday nights. We're going to go get wins on Friday nights, but that's not going to be the make or break of our team.
Jalen, when you have a coach like Coach Booker, who's played not your position, but he's played defense at the highest level of football there is. When you have a coach like that, are there times where you can, is it easier to go and kind of pick his brain on, what he sees defensively to kind of try to help you out?
Yeah, because playing at the highest level, he knows the game. So me being a captain, go to him, learn more of the game, and then help my defense out on Friday nights.
Kind of want to, get into the schedule now. Kick off the season, you've got Kirkwood at home, then you go to Northeast, to Antioch, Kenwood at home, Rossview at home, Clarksville at home, then you're at McGavock, at Cane Ridge, home versus Overton, and then at Greenbrier. Just kind of want to get your overall thoughts on that schedule. You're staying in Class 6A with Clarksville and Rossview, but, with everybody else from that region, last year moving down to 5A, now you've got a bunch of those metro schools in there, Antioch, Overton, all those guys. Just kind of, what are your thoughts on that schedule?
Well, like I said, when I got here last year, we had athletes. We got athletes this year, so we're going to go into each one of them games, and we're going to plan to be in first place. That's our objective. We're going to play 6A or 5A. We got to go in there and win football games, and that's how I'm going to let my kids know. Whether it's Kirkwood, Antioch, Overton, we're coming in there to win now. But we're going to win. We're going to win from Monday to Thursday, and Friday's going to be a party.
The program's never played Antioch, McGavock, Cane Ridge, or Overton.
Mm-hmm.
When, the bulk of your region you've never seen before, there's kind of that unfamiliarity. Does that kind of change the way you approach things compared to, where you've seen Clarksville and Rossview, last year?
Oh, yes, definitely. We're searching right now, trying to get film on certain teams, just so we'll have a better look at them in the season. But remember, they don't got film on us either. So I'm sure that they're working, doing the same thing that I'm going to be doing. But there's a lot of teams going to sleep on us, right? They're going to sleep on us. They say West Creek, they don't have a win schedule. But we've been winning from Monday. We've been winning from Monday that week. And so we're going to go in there and we're going to give them the best we got. But I'm excited about the season. I'm excited about being able to go to Nashville. I'm excited that we still was able to play in 6A ball. I'm excited to be able to play Rossview, and I'm glad that CHS and all of them stayed up. I think our team has something to say this year, and it's going to be. But it's not just going to be. We're not going to be predicated and demeaned to just wins on Fridays, which wins on Fridays count, and we're going to go get them. But our team is going to win from Monday through Friday.
Jalen, you guys play. You've got 5 region games in a row. From weeks 5 to 9, you've got Rossview, Clarksville, McGavock, Cane Ridge, Overton, 5 weeks in a row. But, when you don't play your first region game until midway through the regular season, you can get kind of those first 2 or 3 games under your belt. Does that kind of, whether win or loss, does that kind of give you some momentum, kind of get that energy flowing going into that region schedule?
Yeah, it gets some energy flowing, and then also gives us that boost that we need to go in there and go get those wins. Like Coach said, we don't win on Friday. We start winning on Monday. So going in there, getting them wins on Monday will help us get those wins on Friday night in the region games.
When you talk about, winning on Monday, throughout the week and then Friday's a party, just we haven't got there yet, but, what does that kind of look like? What's the prep look like Monday?
Well, actually for our coaching staff, we start prepping for Friday. On a Saturday, we're going to watch film when we get in there. And then from Saturday after that, we start prepping for the next week. Monday, really, the kids getting the class on time. Kids not getting any trouble. The kids, that's the first part of the day, is getting that. Then just being ready. The coaches have something for them to practice and execute on Monday. Our guys running around, flying around, just, playing with a pep in their step. And that's one thing that we do that I instill in our kids now. When we get on that field, we're the only family we got on that field, right? There's 3 teams on that field. That's us, there's the refs, and there's the opponents. And we got to make sure that we got our back on there. And we're going to start that on Monday. Then we go Tuesday, and so forth. But Monday is a big day for us because, we just got finished with a win. And then we're coming back. I just got to make sure we get the kids grounded and let them know we got to go party on Friday.
We talked about defense, but, you don't have any returning starters on offense. DJ Swanson, your quarterback's gone. DJ McCoy, your running back's gone. Just what's the process been like to kind of restructure an entire offense, find guys to fill out that system? Well,
that's a good and a bad thing. Good thing is that we can create our own habits now, right? We can create our own habits. So right now we're some of the guys that started for us last year, man, we're going to hate to lose them. I mean, I would like to have them back one more year, but unfortunately we can't. So, but what we do is we got a good core of guys that are stepping up, and we got a good OC, Coach Flores. We got Coach Wallace, Coach Austin. We got a good core, Coach Krause. One of our things this year was to make sure that every position group on our offense had a coach. Right. Last year, we didn't have a coach for every position. So we're trying to, minimize some of the mistakes to the game. And then I don't want to come in on Monday or Saturday watching film, and then there's a mistake that we made on offense all game. So our job is to correct them mistakes. But man, I would love to have some of them great talents back last year. But this offense we got this year, we're ready to go. And we want to play a little bit more hard-nosed football. We want to play hard-nosed football, but we want a little bit finesse in there too. So,
you mentioned the athletes you guys had last year. When you lose those guys, as a coach, are you, when you're trying to fill out sides of the ball like you are, do you like to play to a system, or do you just kind of adapt, on the fly to the personnel you have?
Well, our philosophy for our offense is smash mouth football. We want to play smash mouth football. I don't know if we always got the personnel, but in their mind, it's smash mouth football. So that's we want to be able to establish the run, of course, and, put the ball in there. But going on day one, right, we're filling the team out just after the game that we had, the scrimmage we had last night. I watched film today, and there's some. I've talked to some players, different players, and put them in different positions and stuff like that. What's beneficial for the team. One thing that I think our team is good at right now that we didn't have so much last year is we got a lot of guys that are selfless. Right, last year I'm not saying anything, but they had a year. Jackson already had a year of me. So he already knows my expectations, right? This is not the first time he's hearing them. So we got a lot of guys that's gravitated into this selflessness. So I can take kids and say, I'm going to put you here. I need you here. I need you here. And then they're going to go there and play football.
Jalen, I remember last year I was talking to DJ Swanson. He was saying that the biggest difference between 2 years ago and last year was that selflessness that Coach is talking about. When you have a group of guys that, aren't playing for yourself, playing for the team, does that kind of, help you guys kind of grow as that unit, kind of become more tight-knit?
Yeah, because it makes us more one of a team. Football is an 11-man sport. You can't go out there and play one man by yourself. You go out there and do that hurts the team. So it brings us together, built that core that West Creek football is about.
You guys kept Kirkwood, Northeast Kenwood on the schedule, even though they're not in your region anymore. Was that just kind of to, keep those Clarksville home games alive?
Man, I want to be the best in Montgomery County. I can't be the best in Montgomery County if we send all the teams away that we lost to. I mean, they had a good showing last year. They had some good showings, and there was some, it just, I love football. I love the competitive nature. I love going out there and just, it's different now, being a coach opposed to playing, and it just that competitive edge. But at the end of the day, I can't, our kids got to go out there and win. And again, I'm gonna say it right now, we got some talented kids. Let's just try to get them in the right spot. We're trying to speed it up a little bit. A lot of people say the winning should start year 3, but I want the winning to start at year 2.
We're, a little under 3 weeks to the start of the regular season. Just compared to expectations at the start of the offseason, where are you guys in terms of where you expected you guys to be?
And I can just go off our scrimmage. Our execution is better. I think we're not running a lot of things crisp. We're still, there's some things that we need to implement into the game plan. I think if I was to put it on a chart, I think we're right at 6 out of 10, but it's expected for us to be 10 out of 10 on Kirkwood. We're going to try some things out. We're going to get some younger guys in. We're going to use these scrimmages to develop players and see what they can do. So overall, I think we're right where we need to be, and right where we need to be after that first scrimmage is probably around 6. I don't want to be at a 10 right now, because if we get a 10, the kids get a little bit cocky. Coaches start feeling they're better than what they are. 6 is right where we need to do. We can go back into the lab, look at the film, and then make small corrections and be ready for game 1.
Like we've mentioned a lot, only one returning star on both sides. Just who are some guys on, offense and defense that, you're expecting to play big roles for
Man,
this year?
shoot, I can. I'm gonna need. I'm probably got 15, but I'll give you about 6 or 7. Jay Jackson, obvious. Kai, Gutierrez, Isaac Heading, Christian Whaley, Hercules, Christian Hercules, Allen Harris, Jamari Randall, Jalen Hunt. We got some guys, right? We got some guys. We just got to put them in the right place. Nathan Perry, we got some guys. Now, when I say we got some guys, we're fighting against the culture, right? We're fighting against the culture. Run on and off the field, right? Support your players. Don't be selfish. These are things that supersede sometimes football. So that's why when I talk to the team and I get there, man, if we can win the culture, it's easier on the field because there's 3 teams. Let's be Team West Creek. And so we have a myriad of guys. I mean, and it's going Trey Anthony. God, we got a lot. I stay here all day. Matter of fact, I can list like our there's some guys on our team that can play. Julian Jackson, and now they're going to listen to this and be like, Coach, what about me? I know all of y'all, but there's we got some big Logan Adair. We got some guys, and when I say that that's how I feel and that's how I believe in them because they go through our practices. I mean, you can't just walk up in there and go through our practice. If you can't make, like I said, if you can't make our conditioning test, you can't play football for us. So, and that's just the culture of it because I can't put a kid on the field that can't do certain things that protect other guys. And then somebody gets hurt or something don't go right. That's me. That's on me. So I got to put the guys out there that's ready to protect this football and this football team in this program.
Jay, this offseason, what would you say were maybe a couple things that you guys thought you needed to improve on, from last year?
Being more disciplined, attacking the weight room, being a player-led team instead of coach-led team, attitudes, and just being a team and one.
You talk about, fighting the culture from, not only the previous coaching staff, but probably, the years before that. What does it take to change a culture?
And I'll say this: it's not even the previous coaching. It's not even the previous coaching staff. A lot of this happens before they get to school. A lot of this starts in their house. You see what I'm saying? We do the best we can to come in here and do the best we can. So a lot of the stuff that they bring to the football field, that just comes out of their household. We do the best we can when we take 115 individuals and try to put them on a team and go out there. So it's our job as we're teachers first, then mentors, then coaches, right? So we take responsibility to try to do it. It's not the coaching staff. It's just the commitment that the coaching staff have of changing kids. When I got into that program after Coach Galloway was there, he did a great job. I seen everything. I can pick everything. Coach Jay, when he was there, an excellent job. I'm just piggybacking off of what they did, right? And I'm a little bit more stern about it. I'm a little bit more resolute, but it's I look at it as the culture starts from the home, right? And then we just come in there and we just gravitate and we just change some things. But we're right where we need to be. We're right where we need to be, and and I think that. It's going to take some time. Like last night, we had some incidences that happened on the field, and my wife was in the stands, and she was like, "Oh, he ain't gonna like that because I tell my kids how you act on the field embarrasses me. You see what I'm saying? It's a reflection of me. So these are the expectations."
You guys, scrimmage Dixon last night, first scrimmage of the year. Coach Tomlinson always, has Dixon County really good. Just what did you think about the guys last night against Dixon?
Well, let me just say this. I slept on Coach last year. I slept on the kids came in and he put a team on that field last year that was phenomenal. I told him when I talked to him, I was like, man, I'm so glad to play y'all now because I'm tired of watching the film. So he does a good job over there with that program. And I appreciate him letting us come out there and play that football game yesterday. I think the team that he had a well-coached team. I think that, we stayed with our game plan. We executed things that we needed to, and we got in a good 1 or 2 quarters. We got our other guys in there to keep our guys safe. I think we did well. I think we executed well. I think Dixon County did well.
Jalen, just kind of same thing from the player perspective. Like Coach said earlier, he's not out there, playing the game. When you guys have, like we've mentioned, rebuilt both sides of the ball, just based on your expectations, how did you think you guys did last night?
I think we did good. Since we had to rebuild, we had a bunch of players that bought into what coaches is teaching, trying to show us and stuff. So that's the biggest thing, just everybody buying in and going out there and playing hard.
4-6 last year, missed out on the playoffs. After, what does a successful season look like this year?
Successful season to me personally looks like all our kids and coaches get out of a safe season. We don't have no major injuries, and then our kids, and we instill something in our kids that go past football. We teach them something besides for playing football and X's and O's. Also, on the third phase of that is winning football games. We want to go to the playoffs. Like I tell them, culture building is over right now. We going into football now, right? I mean, of course, we go through phases, right? So let me make sure I got our culture, got our foundation together. I feel comfortable where we're at, and we can build off of that. Now it's football winning time, right? It's football winning time. So I would be happy. I would like to go to the playoffs. I would like to win. Enough games. So, but that's, like I said, I don't play any football games. The kids go out there and play, but I do coach. So I'm going to take 100% responsibility on wins or losses. On wins or losses, I'll take 100% responsibility, because it's 100% responsibility of mine to make sure these kids go out there and win football games.
I want to thank Coach Booker and Jalen Jackson for joining me today for our 2025 Montgomery County Football Media Day. You can check out the Coyotes this fall, and you can check out all of our high school football coverage on MainStreetClarksville.com.